Krishna Balaram ki jai. Shigo Nitai ki jai. Gopmanandi.
Haribo.
Swagatam. Swagatam. Welcome. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Om Agyantimirandasya Gyananjana Shalakaya Shakshu Militam Yena Tashmai Shri Gurave Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Stapitam Bhutale Swayam Rupam Kadamayam Dadati Shapadantikam Deham Shri Guru Shri Yutapada Kamalam Shri Guru Gana Lalita Shri Vishakam Vitam Sa He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandhu Jagatpate Gopesh Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kansane Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshvari Vishabhanu Sute Devi Panamami Hari Priye Vanshakalpa Tarudasha Kripa Sindhu Vyaevacha Patitanam Pavane Vaishnavidyo Namo Namaha Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadha Shivasadi Gaur Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram especially so I can speak some words mostly to glorify Srila Prabhupada. Today is Srila Prabhupada Lilamrita. So, il y a besoin de traduire en français? Bon, je ferai les deux alors. Okay. So we are into the first volume, I believe, of the Lilamrita, Prabhupada Lilamrita. There was a prince, Prabhupada said, began the story to illustrate his point. His name was Satyavan, but he was to die at a certain age. His horoscope said, the one girl named Savitri, she fell in love with that boy. Now she wanted to marry. Her father told her, he'll die at a certain age. You don't marry. But she was bent. She married. Donc voilà, donc Srila Prabhupada fait un point ne souffre jamais aucun manque, quoi qu'il en soit. Quel est le verset dans la Bhagavad Gita qui corrobore ceci? Que le dévot ne perd jamais quoi que ce soit. Which verse? 240. 240. So it's a fact. A devotee never loses anything. Tyagva swadam sharanam bujam harer bhajana pagvet tat patet tato yadi yatragva badram bhutta mushyakim kuverta apta bhajatam swadamataha. This is Narad, he's speaking to Vyasadeva, 1.5.12, and he says, Tyagva swadharmam sharanam bhujam harer. Even if a devotee, which is quite paradoxical, but even if a devotee gives up Sharanam Bhujam Harer, the lotus feet of the Lord, that's quite unheard of. But let's say, Tyagva Svadharmam Sharanam Bhujam Harer, even if he gives up. So you may say, well, he joined Krishna consciousness, so already he's giving up his whole life. Sometimes he may be even giving up his career. So from an outside point of view, it may be a sheer loss. On top of that, he joins and he gives up Krishna consciousness. Donc l'idée du point de Srila Prabhupada ici, c'est que a devotee suffers no loss. Il n'y a aucune perte dans la vie d'un dévot. C'est vrai. Shri Krishna le confirme dans la Gita, 2.40, Prabhu l'a cité. On ne perd jamais l'acquis. Ça, on le sait. On ne peut pas rétrograder dans les espèces inférieures, puisqu'on a pris du prashad, on a chanté Hare Krishna. Narad le confirme aussi à Vyasadeva, 1.5.12, il dit, même si, just for the sake of argument, même si un dévot laissait tomber la conscience, les pieds pareils au lotus de Krishna, donc d'une part, il a joint le mouvement Hare Krishna, donc déjà c'est une prise, c'est vraiment une prise, un engagement vraiment ferme. Il a déjà laissé tomber des choses derrière lui, matérielles, pour joindre. En plus de ça, quelques années plus tard, il laisse tomber la conscience de Krishna. On pourrait se dire, d'un point de vue matériel, c'est foutu, comme on dit en français. And we may conclude, well, it's totally a sheer loss. He lost both ends, both sides. Narad doesn't confirm that. What does he say? There is no loss, my dear Vyasadeva. There is no loss whatsoever. On the contrary, whatever he has gained, it's acquired. It is the property of the soul. You cannot backtrack in Krishna consciousness. It is the property of the soul. On the other hand, this is the contrast. On the other hand, a non-devotee who is apparently doing everything right, is a good citizen, is a good husband, is a good voter. He does everything right. But if he's not Krishna conscious, actually there is no asset whatsoever. Of course, what is the shortcut to that, according to Srila Prabhupada? Hare Krishna Prabhu. If that person who has a lot of material assets, if he engages them into Krishna consciousness, then this is the story of so many zeros. You have 5, 10 zeros. If you put a 1 in front of all the zeros, then there's value. Because he has dovetailed his propensities, his assets towards the Lord Krishna. So then it's an happy ending. So, une histoire ici, il y a une très très belle histoire. C'est l'histoire de Satyavan et de Savitri. Prabhupada la raconte ici. Donc, cette jeune femme, Savitri, est tombée amoureuse de ce dévot, Satyavan. Son mari lui a dit, attention, ce jeune homme va bientôt mourir. Donc, il serait judicieux de ne pas se marier avec lui. Néanmoins, elle était vraiment amoureuse de lui. Elle s'est mariée. Écoutons la suite. In course of time, The boy died. Say after 4 or 5 years, and the girl became widow. But she was so staunch, lover, that she won't let the dead body go away. And the Yamaraj, what is the English for one who takes away the body of the soul after death? So he came to take the soul away. So this chaste girl would not allow the husband's body to go away. Donc imaginez le tableau. Hein? Le garçon est mort, comme prévu. La fille se retient à son corps. Elle est vraiment, elle veut pas, elle est éprise de lui. Et voilà. Donc, Yamaraj arrive. By Prabhupada's voice and widening eyes, he appeared as Yamaraj, the Lord of Death, speaking to the widow Savitri. It is my duty that I should take. You give it up, otherwise you also be punished. The girl gave up her husband but followed behind Yamaraj. Then Prabhupada's Yamaraj, by a slight dropping of his voice, became compassionate. Prabhupada is miming the whole thing. My dear girl, you go home. I give you benediction that you will have a son. Don't cry for your husband. But Savitri continued to follow Yamaraj. Yamaraj said, why are you following me? Donc voilà l'histoire. Elle est attachée à son mari. Hein, il a quitté ce monde après 4-5 ans de relation, de mariage avec elle. Et là, Srila Prabhupada va mimer la chose. Hein, sa voix, ses yeux s'élargissent. Et là, Srila Prabhupada imite Yamaraj. It is my duty, c'est mon devoir, c'est le devoir que je dois assumer. Tu dois abandonner. Sinon, tu seras puni aussi. La fille, finalement, abandonna le corps de son mari, mais suivit le Yamaraj. Elle est logique. Hein? She walks her talk. Et là, Srila Prabhupada, il se met à imiter Yamaraj maintenant. Mais il est plus doux. Ma chère petite, ma chère fille, retourne à la maison. Je vais te donner une bénédiction que tu auras un enfant. Ne pleure pas pour ton mari. Savitri, néanmoins, continue à suivre Yamaraj. Yamaraj lui dit, pourquoi tu continues à me suivre? Then Prabhupada Savitri spoke, not in a feminine voice, but with the reasoning and heart of Savitri. Now you are taking my husband. How can I have my son? She's smart. Et ensuite, donc, Srila Prabhupada imitant Savitri, parla non pas dans une voix plutôt féminine, mais avec la raison et le cœur de Savitri. Maintenant que vous avez emmené mon mari, qui va me donner un fils? See? Now Prabhupada is speaking as a narrator. Oh, then he was in a dilemma. Yamaraj was in a dilemma. He returned a husband. So similarly, there's a technique. If you take to Krishna consciousness, then your husband or this human form of life is guaranteed. It's a very nice analogy. Huh? The devotees understood the gist of the story, but they were not perfectly clear what their lives had to do with the woman in the story. Some, however, understood if they took to Krishna consciousness, their ill-destined lives could become conscious, auspicious. Donc, Srila Prabhupada reprend la narration maintenant. Yamaraj était dans un dilemme. Il retourna alors le mari à cette dévote Savitri. Donc, de même, il y a une technique. Si vous adoptez la conscience de Krishna, alors votre mari, qui est votre forme humaine, en fait, c'est l'analogie, le mari, c'est la forme humaine, est garanti. Les dévots comprirent le bien fondé de l'histoire, mais ils n'étaient pas vraiment clairs sur ce que leur vie avait à voir avec la femme dans l'histoire. Certains néanmoins comprirent. S'ils adoptent la conscience de Krishna, leur vie, qui est plutôt de mauvais augure, infortunée, deviendra de bon augure. So this is the idea. whichever we are at in Krishna consciousness, if we take to Krishna, Vishnu Bhakti Ratatmanam, and there's a verse in Padma Puran, Aprarabdha, Kutam, Bijam, and you know the verse. Karma is very complex. There is Prarabdha Karma, Aprarabdha Karma. There is Bij. Bij means the seed of sin. Bij, you contemplate an idea in your psyche. It is there. Wow. You cannot get rid of it. On the contrary, you entertain this idea, this bij. It's a seed. Now, what's going to happen if you contemplate a particular idea? Sorry? Okay, let's take the predicate that you're going to act upon it. Okay? Of course, to make it more crispy clear, let's take a sinful activity. Okay. You walk back home every day from work, and you pass by a couple of bicycles. They are not attached. They're not locked up. Okay? And then you just walk by every day. And you're a bit crooked in your nature. Your svabhav is crooked, a little bit. And you noticed, well, those bikes are not attached. So you just contemplate the idea, perhaps I could steal one. You don't act upon it right away, but as you walk back home every day, then the beach starts to take shape in your psyche. Ah oui, c'est vrai, il y a le français. Donc l'idée, c'est que, comment dirais-je, hein, pour corroborer un peu cette histoire, le verset du Padma Purana explique bien que le point que je voulais faire, c'est que, le point de Prabhupada en fait, c'est que si on adopte la conscience de Krishna, on va pouvoir éradiquer la racine du péché. Hein. Vishnu Bhakti Ratatmanam, quelle que soit l'étape où nous adoptons la conscience de Krishna, ça va réduire à néant tous les effets néfastes de la graine du péché. Que ce soit Prarabdha Karma, Aprarabdha Karma, que ce soit Kuta, Bij, que ce soit Pap. Je vais expliquer tous ces points-là. Donc, l'idée que je donnais, c'était un exemple. Vous rentrez à la maison le soir de votre travail et vous passez devant des vélos qui ne sont pas attachés. Et vous vous dites, vous contemplez tous les soirs, vous voyez que les vélos ne sont pas attachés, c'est des beaux vélos, et vous dites, peut-être que je pourrais en prendre un, après tout. Et le fait de passer devant ces vélos tous les soirs, ça va fortifier votre bij, the seed of sin. You haven't performed the activity as yet. As you contemplate you entertain the idea. You entertain the idea. Then finally, pap. Pap means sin. So that night you go around. I mean, you look around and there's no one apparently except 10 witnesses. What are the 10 witnesses? There's 10 witnesses. Whatever you do, whenever you are hiding. Super soul. You know them all. Le paramatma, l'essence, le soleil, la lune, les directions, les points cardinaux. La lune, le soleil, et j'en passe. En tout cas, il y en a 10. Donc, anyway, stealthily, he's going to grab the bike. And what is the best way to steal a bike without being noticed? Just ride a bike. If you ride the bike, you're okay, because everyone is thinking that is his bike. Then he goes home. Wow, I stole the bike. Now, next, Bij had hawked, and Pap is done. Là, ça y est, il a fait le péché, il a volé le vélo. Tous les soirs, il passait devant, donc il a finalement volé le vélo. Donc Pap, ça y est. What is next? in his mind, what's going on in his mind?
Une fois qu'il l'a volé, tu dis. Ou alors il est très fort, ou alors il est coupable.
Voilà. This is very good. So, he has stolen the bag. Now there's two divisions. There is aprarabdha karma. He feels bad. He feels bad. Because we have a human form of life. You may be a rascal number one, but because you have human form of life, you have a little bit of sattvic consciousness. Otherwise, you wouldn't have gotten a form of life, a human form of life in the first place. So it's got some guilt, you know. Actually, poor guy, he's like me. He's just a tax payer. He's struggling in life like me. I stole his bag, or perhaps the bag of his kid. So, you know, he feels gloomy. He feels guilty. This is one reaction already happening. But Bij, Pap, then aprarabdha karma is feeling bad internally, emotionally. But the prarabdha karma hasn't come as yet. Prarabdha karma means the reaction, the physical reaction. It's not there. But what is the most nasty part of this story?
Kuta.
Excellent, Maharaj. I mean, Puri Prabhu. Kuta, this is the nasty guy. What is Kuta?
Proclivity.
Exactly. Propensity, récidiver. Vous connaissez ce mot-là en français? Récidiver.
It means the tendency. The tendency is created to do the same thing again.
Exactly. So now, listen to the story. He's got the bag at home. Again, he's walking, going home, going to work, same route every night, walking by the same bikes. And now you can see there's more bike. And by Krishna's arrangement, they're not attached. Not all. A few are attached. And now Kuta is there. So Kuta is going to tell him, look, wow, there's more bikes to steal. I didn't get caught after all. I feel bad, but the Kuta will supersede, overshadow the guilt. That's how it works. It overshadows. And now he's scheming more bikes. Why not make a business? I can engage friends and go school, roam the city, and perhaps we can have a little business going on. So this is the point. Vishnu Bhakti Ratatmanam, whichever stage the germination, the fructification has reached, if you take sincerely to Krishna consciousness, it will, Vishnu Bhakti Ratatmanam, it will eradicate. Iti Shodashakam Namnam Kalikalmasha Napaham. It means it's going to burn the seed of sin. You know, if you have a seed you sow in the garden, but if you dry fry that seed in the pan.
That's the verse right there.
Yes.
As frying.
If you dry fry the seed in the pot, then you go back in the garden. If you sow the seed, will it germinate?
No.
It has been fried. So this is the verdict of Brahma. Iti shodashakam namnam kali kalmashanashanam. Yes, il faut que je traduise. C'est vrai. Donc l'idée c'est que l'histoire, vous l'avez entendu, les vélos. Kutam, ça veut dire la tendance à récidiver. On dit un récidiviste. Il passe à la cour, il passe en procès. C'est un récidiviste, monsieur le juge. C'est-à-dire qu'il a recommencé. Et ça, c'est Kutam. Kutam est le pire dans l'évolution de ce verset du Padma Purana, c'est le pire. C'est la tendance à recommencer. Et cette tendance est forte qu'elle va outrepasser la culpabilité. Vous comprenez? Et matériel. Sans bourber. OK? Donc, let's get on. You had some, yes, Prabhu?
Maybe can I add a little lust. That's the beginning of the whole thing. That is to desire. Now, a person say I never had any experience, a very simple example. So then he gets into where actually the lust, his desire, leads him to path to sinful activity, right? So he has this one reaction, aparata, there will be a result to it in future. That is, right now it's seed-like, and it will turn into actual karmic reaction. And then the scooter is there. You know, the scooter is a ability to do the same thing again. It planted as soon as sex one time. A very strong scooter is developed.
Yeah.
And then he develops desire, and consequently, it's the next opportunity, we'll do it again. And again, it's like a wheel, it goes around and around and around. Papa to Aparata on one side, then Parata, and then on the other side, Kuta, opportunity, and then again to desire.
Yeah. Hridaya Granti Ahu. This is the verse. Hridaya Granti. The knot in the heart is being tightened. So, have you tried to undo a wet knot? Try to undo a wet knot. Essayez de défaire un nœud mouillé. C'est impossible de faire un nœud mouillé. So each time, Prabhu is saying, each time we go look at it, we are not only wetting and tightening the knot. Ok. Et par contre, j'ai pas fini, enfin avec l'histoire, je pourrais dire, le prarabdha karma de ce voleur, ça va être quoi? Ça va être un jour, il va se faire piquer sa voiture. Il va se faire piquer sa voiture. Parce que, voilà, finalement on se dit, il n'y a pas grand-chose qui y arrive. Et quand ça y arrive dans un seul bloc, il a volé beaucoup de vélos, il achète une super voiture, il se la fait piquer. Voilà le prarabdha karma. Là, c'est le karma qui arrive. Okay, and the final shot, where could be the prarabdha karma? Where did he go? Did he go flying somewhere? No, he got, after stealing and reselling so many bikes, he got a beautiful car, he gets his car stolen. You follow? So this is end of the story. Back to Lilamrita. Yes, Srila Prabhupada continued, a spiritual life is the most auspicious life. He looked around emphatically at the devotees seated before him on the floor. Anyone who has done something nice, auspicious thing, it will never be vanquished. It will never be put into difficulty. It is such a nice thing. Donc, c'est toujours pareil, le même point. Srila Prabhupada continua. La vie spirituelle est des meilleurs augures. Il regarde autour de lui de manière avec beaucoup d'emphase, alors que les dévots sont assis devant lui, par terre. Quiconque accomplit quelque chose de bien, de bon augure, ceci ne disparaîtra jamais. Il ne sera jamais mis en difficulté. C'est une chose merveilleuse en soi. He ended his lecture and asked for questions. The young woman raised her hand. You said that people foolishly worship the photograph of someone who had already gone. You gave the example of George Washington or Gandhi. But can't the photo of a spiritual teacher be very helpful to teach others to love him? Il finit alors sa classe et demanda s'il y avait des questions. Une jeune femme lui leva sa main. Vous dites que les gens sont stupides à adorer des photos de quelqu'un qui a déjà trépassé. Vous donnez l'exemple de George Washington ou Gandhi. Mais n'est-ce pas que la photo d'un gourou, par exemple, peut être très utile à enseigner les autres pour qu'ils apprennent à l'aimer? Prabhupada, yes. Those who are spiritually advanced, they are not different from their photograph. Just like here is the statue of Krishna. It's not different from Krishna. The original person Krishna and his statue of Krishna are the same. Just like we are chanting Hare Krishna, Krishna and the name of Krishna are non-different. Do you realize it? If we are not getting some spiritual enlightenment by chanting Hare Krishna, then why do you think we are simply just wasting our time? No, we're not wasting our time. We're actually getting spiritual ecstasy because there's no difference. Similarly, a spiritually perfect person and his photograph is the same because it is in the absolute stage. Is that clear? Donc, la réponse de Srila Prabhupada, oui, ceux qui sont spirituellement avancés, ils ne sont pas différents de leurs photos. Tout comme voici la Murti de Krishna, elle n'est pas différente de Krishna. La personne originelle Krishna et sa Murti sont identiques. Si nous chantons avec Krishna, Krishna et le nom de Krishna ne sont pas différents. Est-ce que vous réalisez ceci? Si nous avons un tant soit peu de enlightenment, d'illumination spirituelle en chantant avec Krishna, vous pensez alors qu'on perd notre temps véritablement? Non, pas du tout. Nous ne perdons pas notre temps. Nous sommes en fait, nous développons de l'extase spirituelle, car il n'y a pas de différence. De même, une personne parfaite spirituellement et sa photo sont identiques, car ça se passe au niveau absolu. Est-ce que c'est clair? Yeah, it's a beautiful point. Abhinadvam namanamino. Whatever pertains to the spiritual stage is one. Om Purnamada Purnam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishyate. So in spiritual mathematics, 1 plus 1 equals 1. 1 minus 1? You cannot subtract. Advayagyan, Vadanti Tatvavidas, Tatvam Yajmanan, Advayam. Advayagyan means it's one, it's non-dual. You cannot take out from Krishna. You cannot say, because Vishnu is coming out of Krishna, Krishna is less. No, this is material consideration. Advayagyan. But from the perspective of the students, you may approach Krishna from the Brahman perspective, Brahman platform. You yourself have reached that realization. Yes, Krishna is all energy, is all encompassing, is omnipresent. Or Paramatmavadi, you understand the Lord is in everyone's heart. Or from the perspective of a Bhakta. But he himself is one. Prabhu says in the Chaitanya Charitamrita that Brahman means Krishna. There's a verse. Brahman means Krishna. We don't think, oh, there is Brahman, there is Paramatma. One time Bhakti Thakur Maharaj, he asked the question to Srila Prabhupada. He was alone with him. He told me the story. You know this murti of Paramatma glowing and there's an orange background, you know, we had it in Krishnaville, I remember. So he asked Srila Prabhupada, in a pure devotee's heart, is it Krishna or is it Paramatma? Nice question. What did Prabhupada say? Yes, pure devotee. He says Krishna, not Paramatma. So, in other words, Krishna reciprocates with your love. There's a verse in the fourth canto, third canto. Brahma is telling the Lord that you're so nice that you reciprocate in the particular Ishtadev that is suiting the love of a particular devotee. See, Krishna knows he loves me this way, so I'm going to reciprocate this way. You know, he's not going to reciprocate differently, because just like if you're in love with a girl or a girl with a boy, you reciprocate her way because you love her. So in the same way, Krishna is like that. He reciprocates his way because he knows you love him this way. This is personal. Brahma is making the point in the third canto. So everything is one. When we say everything is one, it sounds impersonal. How do we have to understand it? C'est vrai, il faut que je traduise. Il faut me le rappeler. Hein? Donc l'idée, c'est que, comment dirais-je, donc là, il a fini la question. Et là, il répond, la photo n'est pas différente de la personne, la murti n'est pas différente de Krishna. Hein? Donc, aucune différence, surtout lorsque c'est un être réalisé spirituellement. Et là, bien sûr, j'ai rebondi en disant Abhinadvam Namanaminoho, le saint nom n'est pas différent de la personne de Krishna. Et en fait, tout est 1. 1 plus 1 égale 1. 1 moins 1 égale 1. On ne peut pas retirer à Krishna. Et donc, on dit que Krishna est Advaya Gyan, il est non-duel. Il ne faut pas penser qu'il diminue pour autant, bien que tout émane de lui. Il reste toujours le tout complet et absolu. Voilà. Ah oui, c'est vrai. Merci. Voilà, c'est ça. Donc effectivement, merci Prabhu. Cette belle peinture du Paramatma, on voit, il brille, et derrière il y a un fond orange, je ne sais pas si vous l'avez vu. On l'avait à Krishnaville, je me souviens. Bhakti Charo Maharaj pose la question à Srila Prabhupada, est-ce que pour un pur dévot, dans le cœur, c'est Paramatma ou c'est Krishna? Réponse, c'est Krishna. Donc l'idée, c'est que Krishna réciproque avec votre l'ishtadev que vous avez dans le cœur, la façon dont vous avez d'adorer Krishna, d'aimer Krishna. Krishna, il y a un verset dans le 3e chant de Brahma, Krishna réciproque de cette façon-là. Parce qu'il sait que c'est comme ça que vous allez le conquérir, par cet amour-là. Donc il va réciproquer selon votre amour que vous avez pour lui. C'est un verset de Brahma. Voilà. Ok. Govinda Dasi raised her hand. You said that after leaving this body, a person in Krishna consciousness goes to a higher planet. Prabhupada, no. If you make perfection of Krishna consciousness, then after leaving this body, you go directly to Krishna. What is the verse? 4:9. Oui. 4:9. Very good. If you are not perfect, if you simply have executed a certain percentage only, then you will get a chance of another human body. But one who has understood what is Krishna, how Krishna takes his birth, how Krishna acts, he doesn't get any more material birth. Then, where does he go? Chakvadeham purna janma netimameti. He comes to me. That means in the supreme abode of Krishna. Donc, la question de Govinda Dasi, qui est une dévote très très aînée, Srila Prabhupada en parle dans le Bhagavatam, c'est elle qui a réussi à introduire tout le C dans les pays occidentaux, avec succès. C'est pas facile, hein, toute l'année d'adorer tout le C, hein, especially in cold countries. Donc la question est la suivante. Srila Prabhupada, après avoir quitté son corps, est-ce qu'une personne dans la conscience de Krishna va-t-elle sur une planète supérieure? Réponse. Mataji. Est-ce que lorsque vous allez quitter sur votre corps, où va-t-on?
Bon, si on a bien travaillé, on va au positif.
Ok. Si on a bien travaillé. Avec amour quand même. He's saying, because I asked the question, Prabhupada actually, this Govinda Dasi asked the question, where do we go after leaving our body? Do we go to a higher planet? So I just bounced up the question to them. And he goes, well, if you worked hard, we'll go back. So
He meant his bhakti job, of course.
yeah. He's getting some bhakti points. But Krishna says something about that, Prabhu. Qu'est-ce qu'il dit là-dessus, Krishna, dans la Gita, par rapport au travail? 8e chapitre. Qu'est-ce qu'il dit? Mamanusmara yudyacha. Yudya means to fight. You fight, you do your work, yes. Madkama kritma paramo madbhakta sangaja vajita. You have to work for Krishna, but be careful. Mamanusmara. Manusmara means remember, right? We have to remember Krishna. Otherwise, if you become a workaholic. There was one devotee in Radhadesh, I remember. We used to call him kitchen rat. Kitchen rat. Kitchen rat. Kitchen rat. Rat. And I remember, he used to work flat 10 hours in the kitchen of Radhadesh. I would put my tilak on the pots, Prabhu. So much is scrubbing. Everything is sparkling clean. I would come, put my tilak on the pot like this. It's like a mirror. And very nice person. And then 15 years, and he used to entertain the idea Seva is equal to Krishna, to Jap. It's the same, Prabhu. Abhinadvanamino, everything is one. And I used to argue, Prabhu, yes, but he was not initiated, okay. But he used to say, no, Seva is the same. The best Seva is chanting, yes, but personally, I like to work for Krishna. Mat kamakrit, mat paramo. And this is the verse 1155. Kamakrin, do your karma for Krishna. Work, Krishna karma, Krishna karma. One day he disappeared. From abruptly, one morning he was gone with the wind. So, l'idée c'est que, j'ai rebondi un petit peu sur ce qu'il disait, parce qu'il disait, ça m'a un peu choqué, il disait, j'ai fait mon travail, je retourne à Krishna, c'est bon. Non, c'est pas aussi abrupt que ça. Là, le verset, on le connaît, 8e chapitre. Mamanusmara, Yudyacha, il faut se souvenir de Krishna. Et pas juste se souvenir matter of factly. Krishna, non. You have to put love. Of course, love will come. Mais c'est pas juste on travaille comme des abrutis. Et puis, on a oublié pourquoi on est là. J'ai vu le cas à Radhadesh, on l'appelait le kitchen rat. C'est un dévot c'était un nouveau bhakta, nouveau bhakta pendant 15 ans. Et puis, tout était immaculé, c'était propre, à merveille. Je mettais mon tilak sur les casseroles. Et un jour, il a disparu du jour au lendemain. Il pensait que chanter Hare Krishna, c'est du même tonneau que faire n'importe quel service. On fait du service, on chante Hare Krishna, on nettoie les pots, on balaie le sol. Tout ça, c'est un. C'est vrai que c'est un. Mais dans l'âge actuel, what is the main anga of bhakti in this particular age of Dayan age? Harinam. You cannot equate. Srila Prabhupada used to say, the first service is to chant Hare Krishna. Then he used to say, you can do any damn thing. And even he himself chanted his 16 rounds. Okay, so, and what is the answer of Prabhupada here? No, my dear Govinda Dasi, you go back to the spiritual world. 4.9. No, sorry. Janmakama Chemedivyam Evam Yoveti Tadvataha. You go back. So that is why we should study the books Tadvataha thoroughly and deeply, as far Yata Vidi means as far Yata Mati, as far as our realization goes. We should, Prabhupada just said you should cram the book. One time he said we should cram the book threadbare. You know threadbare? Threadbare means you have a worn out jeans. It's so worn out you can see the thread. He said we should cram the books like this. Just like a lawyer in court. Have you seen the lawyer with the book going around, moving about the court case, making his case to defend his customer? Does he have a book in his hand? The guy knows his stuff. He knows the case. He knows the articles that he can refer to that case. He knows the antecedent on that case. He knows everything. He has studied the case. He's a good lawyer. So because he knows the case well, he can emphasize his talk on having a nice talk. He can impress the jury, impress the judge. If he's still trying to retain his lesson while trying to impress the judge, it's not going to work. It is assimilated. Then he can speak freely and impress the jury and the judge. Donc l'idée, c'est que Prabhupada rebondit là-dessus. Hein. comment dirais-je, effectivement, il le dit et redit, ma chère Govinda Dasi, non, on ne va pas sur une planète supérieure, on retourne au monde spirituel. Mais attention, Janma, Karma, Shamedivyam, oui, on doit en comprendre Janma et Karma. Donc ça veut dire, il faut étudier, il faut chanter, mais il faut étudier en profondeur. Yatamati, autant que notre intellect le permet, notre mental, notre faculté le permettent, il faut vraiment étudier à fond. Il y a une différence entre lire et étudier. Vous voyez ce que je veux dire? C'est ça dans le 4e chapitre, Svadhyaya Yagya. Ça veut dire que c'est l'ascèse de l'étude.
C'est ça que je disais comme travail.
Voilà. Il se rattrape très bien. Okay, so let's carry on. Another 5 minutes. They should be very serious. Why should we wait for another birth? Either in a very pious family, or rich family, or in other planets. This human body can give you the highest perfection. But we have to be very serious and try for that perfection. But we are not serious. Srila Prabhupada put himself in the picture. We are not serious. We are not very serious. Actually, human civilization means that people should be very serious to have perfection in this human form of life. That is perfect human civilization. That is missing at the present moment. Oui, Prabhu? Yes?
Des questions sur ce qu'on a parlé avant.
Ok. Donc, ce que je vais faire, je traduis juste ça, et après tu poses la question. On continue avec donc Srila Prabhupada. Nous devons être sérieux. Pourquoi devrions-nous attendre une vie prochaine, que ce soit dans une famille pieuse, une famille riche, perfection? Nous devons être très sérieux et essayer d'accéder à cette perfection. Mais nous ne sommes pas sérieux. Il se met dans l'histoire, Prabhupada. Nous ne sommes pas sérieux. Il se met dans... We, means all of us. Nous ne sommes pas très sérieux. En fait, la civilisation humaine signifie que les gens doivent être très sérieux vis-à-vis du fait d'atteindre la perfection de son corps humain. C'est ça la perfection de la civilisation humaine. Et c'est ce que les gens, c'est le point manquant aujourd'hui sur Terre. Oui, Prabhu?
J'ai deux questions.
Ok.
La première, c'était en rapport à la question de Bhakti Swami, ce qu'il a posé à Prabhupada, qui se manifeste dans le cœur, Krishna. Et ma question, c'est parce que le cœur que je connais, c'est un organe fait de tissus. Je ne veux pas Krishna se manifester là-bas, c'est un peu dégueulasse. Et il y a plein de sang. Donc, c'est où en fait que Krishna se manifeste?
It's a very good point. So, yeah. So it's mentioned in the 12th canto. Did you hear his question, Prabhu? No. Okay, so he's saying, bouncing off on the story of Bhakti Charu Maharaj, asking Srila Prabhupada, is there Bhagwan, Sri Krishna, in the heart of a pure devotee or Paramatma? He's saying, well, the heart is full of blood. It's full of, tissues and you name it. Huh? It's flesh. It's mundane. Yeah. So in the 12th canto, I would say 11th or 12th canto, it's mentioned that there is a space in the heart. It's a spiritual space. Yeah. There's a verse. I can show it to you. Yes, Paul? Sorry?
Verse I would like to have.
Yeah, I'll give you. 11 or 12, either or. There's a space in the heart. The heart, first of all, is the abode of the soul. The soul is not in the brain. Soul is here.
Physical heart.
Yeah, but even you as a soul, Ramanujacharya explained, the soul is as consciousness, but the soul is conscious in and of itself. You have consciousness, which is a symptom of the soul, but the soul himself is conscious. You follow? Independently of the consciousness. This consciousness pervades the particular body you're going to inhabit. You're going to dwell inside. But the soul in and of itself, even if you're not embodied, the soul is full of Satchitananda Vigraha.
Yeah, like a self-realized soul knows, oh, this is my identity, this is my certification,
Yeah.
this is my parents and Goloka Vrindavan.
Yeah, so the soul is conscious, it's got consciousness, but it's conscious in and of himself. So the soul has a space. And when you chant Hare Krishna, you chant Om, all the spiritual activities are reverberated in that sky. It's mentioned sky actually, not space. There's a sky, a transcendental sky in the soul, in the heart.
Now,
Yes, Prabhu.
what if a person sleeps, for example? And what happens there? Because he's not conscious of the body. And it's an interesting question because actually there's an answer. In Vedanta Sutra, it explains that when a person sleeps, that the soul is actually sleeping on the lap of the Lord.
Yeah, it's called Susupti. Susupti.
Exactly.
Susupti is called.
Sleeps on the lap of the Lord. And therefore, when he wakes up, he's refreshed. Like
This is, yeah.
plugging the battery.
This is called Susupti. Prabhupada explained there's night dreaming, there's daydreaming. Devotee, not us, we are trained not to daydream, but non-devotees are daydreaming. They go about their day, but fifth chapter explains, 5:12, 5:13, whatever he does, evacuates, go to work, eat, he doesn't do nothing. The soul doesn't do anything. The modes of nature are triggering him off to work, to function. I'm going to the toilet, I'm going to dress myself, I'm washing my body. The soul doesn't do anything. You know that. So the soul starts to act when you are Krishna conscious. Krishna says in 5:14, we cannot create actions, we cannot create the fruits of action in yourself or in others. No, it's all about the modes of nature. So Prabhu was saying, night dreaming, daydreaming, and susupti. This is right, Prabhu. Susupti means the soul is beyond dream. It's like coma, basically. And the soul reconnects with the Paramatma. And then you regenerate yourself. When someone is in coma, this is beyond dreaming. So it's called susupti, the reconnection of Atma and Paramatma. And then you become regenerated.
What regenerates the body or
You,
consciousness?
yourself, the soul is regenerated, reconnected. So you reconnect with the Paramatma.
It was disconnected?
The soul is disconnected. Yeah,
They have the same consciousness.
yeah.
I said it's really beautiful.
Susupti is called. But I will look up that verse, Prabhu. That's a verse.
Also,
I'll give you the verse. It's 11 ou 12. I'll look it up. Donc, je traduis. Hein, on est déjà un peu en retard. Hare Krishna. Merci beaucoup. Bon, je traduis ou pas? On traduit. Okay. Bon, oui, parce que sinon je vais me faire taper sur les doigts. Ça, c'est clair. Donc, l'idée, c'est que, comment dirais-je, je citais un verset, il faut que je le retrouve. Un verset qui explique qu'il y a, on sait que dans la région du cœur se trouve l'âme, n'est-ce pas? Et l'âme, Ramanuj le dit, Ramanujacharya, l'âme est totalement consciente. Qu'elle soit incarnée ou pas, l'âme est consciente. Elle n'a pas besoin d'être dans un corps pour répandre sa conscience dans un corps. Dès l'instant qu'elle s'incarne, la conscience se répand dans le corps en question. Mais même si elle ne s'incarne pas, elle est consciente. Satchitananda Vigraha. L'âme possède la conscience, qu'elle soit incarnée ou pas. Donc ça veut dire, il y a un verset dans le Bhagavatam qui dit que le cœur, qui est la région de l'âme, il y a un espace, il y a un ciel spirituel dans l'âme. Et là sont emmagasinés, le verbe est utilisé réverbérer, hein, reverberate. C'est là que les sons sonores spirituels, le Shabda Brahman, on dit, Om, Hare Krishna, vont être réverbérés dans cette section du cœur, qui est une section spirituelle du cœur. Et c'est là qu'on réveille la conscience, qu'on réveille notre âme, en fait. Donc, voilà, c'est ça que je voulais dire. Et après, on a rebondi sur Susupti. Susupti, c'est lorsque c'est un sommeil tellement profond que c'est au-delà du rêve. Et à ce moment-là, c'est pratiquement le coma. On appelle ça le coma. Le corps est totalement gone. Le corps est pratiquement mort. Et là, l'âme reconnecte avec le Paramatma. Et donc, ça recrée une régénération de l'âme, Tout est remis, on est de nouveau reconnected.
Et le Prabhu, il disait que l'âme se couche sur les genoux de par un.
Oui, c'est ça. C'est cette section-là du Bhagavatam, Susupti. On appelle ça.
Savoir que toutes les nuits, on va se coucher.
Bah, ça dépend de ton sommeil. Si tu as un sommeil agité, si tu as un mental agité, tu as un sommeil agité. Et donc tu rêves beaucoup. C'est pas Susupti, ça. Dès l'instant que tu rêves, c'est pas Susupti. Ça, c'est ce qu'on appelle night dreaming. Susupti, on ne s'en souvient pas. Ça correspond au coma, en fait. Quand quelqu'un a un profond choc, un accident, Prabhupada dit que coma, ça veut dire les deux milieux ne savent pas trop ce qu'ils vont faire avec toi. Il y a une discussion qui se fait. Oui, Matachi, vous dites. Pardon? Ah bah, ça, vous le saurez lorsque vous aurez votre Swarup Siddhi. Quand vous aurez atteint votre Swarup Dehas, votre corps spirituel ontologique, votre corps originel, ça sera votre âme. À l'heure actuelle, l'âme est recroquevillée, il fait un 10 millième de la pointe d'un cheveu, mais plus vous ravivez votre conscience, votre âme, plus le corps spirituel se redéveloppe. Et lorsque vous recevez Swarup Siddhi, c'est-à-dire que vous êtes réhabilité dans votre position ontologique, originelle, eh bien, hop, vous évoluez dans ce corps spirituel, auprès de Krishna, ou auprès de Narayana, ou auprès de Ramachandra, ou selon votre amour par rapport à Dieu.
Ah, je suis commentaire.
Oui, bien sûr.
C'est pour cette raison que Chaitanya Mahaprabhu a mis l'accent sur le chant.
Oui.
Là, dehors. Paramatma là, à son côté, il attend. Donc, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu est venu, il a donné le mantra afin qu'elle s'y réveille, son amour.
Merci, Prabhu. Thank you very much, everyone. Hare Krishna.
On va pas Lilamrita qui?
Jai.
Christopher.
Yes.
L'âme est dans le sein de mère.
Oui.
C'est pas encore
Oui. Oui.
Les gens qui
But you say it like it's not good enough?